Is this going to be another Carmelo Anthony situation? Are we not sick of this shit yet?
We built the crowds and shit.
Is that a fucking bulldozer? Unemployment strikes again in Madison, where a man named Corey Ruiz attempted to steal a bike, and then when police responded, he tried to fight them with a knife. When was the last time that somebody thought it was a good idea to bring a knife to a gunfight? And of course, the media pushed this as an innocent man to the victim of police. It was a white cop and a black man. And do you know how leftists responded? The exact way you would expect them to respond, by peaceful protests in the streets. Today we're going to be reacting to a man named Decoy who spoke on the situation and is going to show us what that looked like. I'll have the link to the video and his channel in the description. Let's get straight into the shit.
Corey Ruiz lost his life after allegedly attempting to steal a bike, then fighting the police with a knife. But this didn't stop the mainstream media from immediately painting him as some innocent victim that the evil police unjustifiably ended.
Another example of the justice system not wanting to put another black man in jail, so he's back out on the streets stealing bikes and stabbing police officers. Is this going to be another Carmelo Anthony situation? Are we really going to have another one of those where black people are mobbing in the streets for some stupid ass shit?
Never mind the second angle, appearing to show him with that large knife, that once the cop couldn't control it, he popped him, which is...
And this is going to be the footage that the media isn't going to show. This is going to be the one that they suppress and push down to make sure that you're in support of this innocent black man.
Is in line with his alleged 19-year-long criminal history, including 8 convictions involving fighting the police.
Why is he not in prison? Why was he even out in the first place?
So this should be an open and shut case. Longtime criminal with a knife fights the police and unfortunately loses their life. We don't want...
Let me guess, this is going to be one of those liberal things where they stand up for black rights. It's going to be BLM. It's going to be a mob or protest or some BS where they try to solve the injustice of the situation when in reality there wasn't any.
Want this to happen, but out of the over 250,000 residents of Madison, Wisconsin, the only man the police blasted was the one fighting them with a knife. I'm not really seeing the evidence of injustice here.
Neither am I.
But facts don't matter, as activists immediately took to the streets to scream at anybody.
You know, this is my problem with protesters, whether or not they're even on the right side, which they aren't in this case, but either way, stop ruining people's days. Nobody cares if you're protesting. These people are literally just trying to enjoy a meal. They do not want a black person with a megaphone yelling in their face. Literally just being loud and obnoxious for no reason.
Which went well into the evening.
I've never seen propaganda pull people so far that they actually managed to group a giant crowd of people out in the streets to protest for a man with a knife and a 19-year-long criminal record. How?
That's MAGA in my chat right now. It's going through it right now.
As a mob set out to randomly stop all commerce.
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You shouldn't be racist towards black people, but you need to stop giving them a reason to be racist towards you. People would love black people so much more if they didn't stand out in the streets yelling, being loud and obnoxious, and ruining normal people's days because they want to defend a murderer. This is twice in 1 year. We're literally having... this is another Carmelo Anthony. Except this time, it was a police officer and there was footage! Dude, give it to the woke white man in the background. There's no way. I've never seen so much brainwashing in one crowd.
And later, they began to attack cars.
These are the peaceful protesters, by the way. It's one thing to stand up for something that wasn't even an injustice in the first place. It's another thing to attack people in their cars. Look at this! There's no way. These are your peaceful, protesting, loving liberals, by the way.
Nobody seemed to mind the senseless assaults on that random guy's SUV, but once he switched into reverse, everybody started shrieking over that potential attack.
That's literally how liberals work. They will poke the bear, and then when the bear gets angry, they'll record the bear and say, look, God, look how evil the bear is. Are we not sick of this shit yet? Are we not tired of this happening already?
Which actually tracks, as nobody was protesting over Corey's long list of crimes, including attacking not only their cops, but actually innocent victims. But once the police had to forcefully put a stop to him, only then, when things get reversed, do they cry for peace.
This is another example of an isolated incident that's being taken out of hand. Another example of the media pushing this propaganda that a black man is innocent when in reality, criminal record, had a giant knife, and there's video of it. But no matter how much evidence you give these people, they will never change their mind because they are emotional, senseless animals.
This wasn't the only instance of them blocking the streets, then pleading victimhood.
This man's trying to hit us with his car.
This man's trying to hit us with his car. You mean this man's trying to go to work or go home to his children? Can y'all just get the fuck out the way? Just get out of the way. The peaceful protesters. This is the peaceful left.
This man's trying to hit us with his car, y'all. At Corey's memorial. Hey, we ain't, no, none of.
If you could tell, he's actually trying not to hit you with the car. He really just wants to go home, and instead you're videoing him and then kicking his car. You're literally violating his own property.
That. None of that. Turn around. It's against the law. It's against the law to shoot somebody dead in the fucking street.
It's called self-defense. I'm pretty sure the law says it's called self-defense.
You don't want the motherfucking chair. You don't want the chair. You don't want the chair. You don't.
Oh, so now that you won't get out of his way and he doesn't want to get out of the way either, you're going to throw a chair at his car? Are we serious? Again, the protesting, peaceful, liberal left. I don't... How did we get this far?
I've seen it before.
But sadly, some of these idiots actually think they can negotiate for their freedom with the unruly mob.
You won't let me through. I kept saying, I want to go home so I can park. And I want to be part of this. I have 2 children. They need to know that what happened was wrong.
They're actually straying people away from their own side. This lady was trying to be part of the protest, which is obviously on the wrong side, and then her own protesters got in her way. And now she's like, oh my gosh, they were in my way for the protest that I wanted to be a part of. And it's like, is that not a wake-up call for you? Even just a little bit?
I saw the guy today with the MAGA hat and the liberal. I don't think that's right to come down and try and instigate problems. I just wanted to get to my house. That is it.
We all just want to do something in this world.
As a left,
We all just want to do something in this world. They have literally no rebuttal. Just let the poor lady go home. You do not have to get in your way. You want to protest, that's totally fine. I really don't care if y'all are protesting, but get the fuck out of the way.
always eventually eats their own, and the sooner you realize there's no amount of rationale or negotiation that can impact the minds of literal simpletons, the sooner you'll realize the only thing they'll listen to is force. As eventually, this evolved into an entire no-go zone called the CRAZ, the Corey Ruiz Autonomous Zone.
Oh man, we built the CRAZ and shit, man. We stand for murderers and shit.
See just how much the encampment has grown at the site where Corey was shot and killed by Madison police. Protesters have put up a number of tents here. They have people essentially running checkpoints at each side of the encampment, checking who's coming in and out of this site.
Wait, you mean that liberals have set up borders in an area that they don't even own and they're in charge of who comes in and out? Sounds incredibly contradicting.
They even have tire spikes in the perimeter. The city has also put their own salt trucks on one end of the intersection, and they've also scheduled garbage pickup for residents in the area as well as people inside of the encampment.
The worst part about this protest isn't even the fact that it's happening. It's the fact that the law enforcement is allowing it. You're telling me they're putting up these city's trucks and they're picking up garbage for them? No. Let them sit out there and rot.
I reached out to Madison's mayor for an interview, which her office declined at this time. But in statements that were released to the public, it said that her office is working to come up with a peaceful resolution to all of this while still honoring Corey. But protesters that I've spoken with here tell me they're not going anywhere. The officer involved in this shooting is facing charges.
This is why the people should not be in power. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe that the government and the higher ups are all corrupt for the most part, but the people clearly should not be in power, especially the majority voice in this situation. The reality is they don't hate violence, they just hate anything happening to black people, especially if they aren't innocent for some reason.
It's insane to think that in America, if the mob suddenly decides to cut you off from civilization, your garbage hyper-left woke mayor is completely willing to sacrifice your freedom to please the mob. As even journalists like Nick Sorter got attacked on sight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get out of here. No, do not touch, do not. Just bet, no, I'm not touching, no, I'm trying to get in my car. No.
I'm sorry, if you're trying to protest for a violent injustice, why would you fight it by using violence? The term fight fire with fire doesn't actually work. Fire plus fire just equals more fire. What made you think this was going to work?
I'm just trying to get in my car. I just want to just let me get in the car. That's it. That's all I want. Get in your car. I just don't want to get hurt. Get in your car.
Get in the car.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yep, we're good. We're
So finally, the state police came in to intervene.
This is not going to look good for the per capita statistics.
No, they're arresting us for being violent and shit, man. We ain't do nothing, man.
Leaving behind a mess that again, the adults had to clean up.
I love the way that he says the adults have to clean it up because the reality is they're acting like children. If you're at the grocery store with your parents and you ask for a piece of candy and your parents say no, and you throw a little temper tantrum, even though your parents didn't do anything wrong, that is literally exactly what's happening in this situation.
Madison streets almost killed 2 people today. Madison streets.
They have literally turned the streets into the ghetto. Is that a fucking bulldozer?
And remember, these full-grown
What is going on there? They literally have turned that neighborhood into the ghetto.
adults took the time off of work to sit around and make a tent city defended by spike strips and volunteer security, only for it to be quickly dismantled once the adults say playtime is over. But unfortunately, their mayor's still trying to placate them.
I just want to say again, because I think people don't believe this, we are absolutely committed to allowing space for some sort of memorial. It just can't be in the middle of the traffic lanes.
But that'll never satisfy these imbeciles, as allegedly they went to the mayor's home, or wherever they think the mayor lives, and trashed it.
I'm gonna sleep with you.
This is literally what we're talking about.
The community ain't get no sleep with you. We saw you set your pigs downtown. We saw you on your hands.
They're like rabid animals.
Dude, you're lucky the mayor even allowed a memorial of any sort in the first place. But that wasn't enough for the black people. They just had to go and trash their house.
He ain't do nothing, man. He just had a giant knife and shit. He was innocent, bruh. The mayor said he can get a memorial. Oh, we'll trash your house too. I don't even know why, bruh, but we oppressed and shit.
reacting to what looks like justified policing by yelling at random residents eating, attacking vehicles for the crime of driving on the streets, then shutting down an entire block to recreate Seattle's Chaz, their autonomous zone free of all police because of police brutality.
This isn't even black Americans anymore. It is the entire extreme leftist community. It is clear how they believe that the legal system is failing them and they want all the power. But look at what would be happening if the people were in power. Keep in mind, they are in power, but they have enough power to get the mayor to want a memorial of a man who stabbed a police officer. Imagine what the extreme left could do if they did have the power.
When almost immediately, they began shooting each other inside. Not
Oh my god. Blacks shooting each other. God, tell me something new.
once, but several times in under a month, including the shooting of more black kids, apparently also evading the police.
Well.
Not to mention the arson attacks, the instances of extortion by warlords, and the many cases of assault that took place inside the police-free zone. And what makes it worse is, one, the reporting is incredibly downplayed on these horrendous crimes, but more importantly, that specific assault was on a disabled girl lured into a tent, which upon discovery of this attack, they immediately called for the police to come in and arrest him. Which just goes to show they're just LARPing. When they do indeed want and need the police, they just briefly pretend they don't for social media points and something to do to make themselves finally feel important.
So what you're telling me is that a man is violent with a police officer. So the police officer does what he has to do, and then people say the police officer was being too violent, so they go out in the streets and become violent, and then when people respond to that violence with violence, they call the police? It makes no sense!
So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, and you'll subscribe to Decoy.
First of all, Decoy, amazing video. If you have not heard of him, go subscribe to this man. This man's a genius. And secondly, my final thoughts, this is scary. 2 times this year have we seen extreme leftists, liberals, and black people stand up for a violent black man. And what makes it so much worse this time is the fact that there is video evidence of this guy having a knife, a giant knife in his hands while he's surrounded by police officers. This is literally just a Carmelo Anthony 2.0. But of course, the media isn't going to show you how much more likely black people are to kill each other or how much more likely they are to kill white people. They're going to show you the police officer killing the black man because it fits their narrative. I appreciate you being here for my first reaction video. See y'all in the next one.